Hi all. Right, just about to move on to the action phase. This is a new day for me recording, so I was just watching back some footage in my last action phase. So much time spent into saying, right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and that'll move there and that can do that. And then we didn't get such a good fire phase that turn. And I was just thinking, right, that plan's out the window, that one's out the window, that's not going to happen. Yeah, so they got a bit meaner than they have been, but yes, no doubt you're saying, well, that's how the game should be, and you've got to just put up with that. Right, I'm sure there'll be some things that will come along when I spot them. This was a strange case, I suppose, wasn't it? This situation here, with this guy advancing down to there. Yeah, I think, like I say, I do think that was a bit of a break that we got there, really, because hopefully we can spare the action to move that unit into there, and then just move that unit down just to lock this, or I don't know. And the other bad thing that ended, what was that? That was the second event when depth got placed, wasn't it? So that unit now can consider advancing down there as well. So something we need to watch out for. But we can't protect them all. I mean, we're protecting this one, and to be honest, this is an important one that keeps our HQ up and running. So yeah. And yeah, of course, this one, well, we were talking about we could back him up. Again, this is an action to do this. So whether we've got that or not, I mean, we do have these two guys now that could come up and probably come across. They were hoping to come up and relieve some of the pressure on these units, so we could certainly, if they can get up there along with that, we could have a go at this position. However, if you just look there, I've counted 1, 2, 3 actions, just looking at the 3 units. Now, it could well be that the other stuff is kind of clumped together. This is clumped beside the general, and this stuff beside the HQ. But I know, and obviously the HQ's got it's got a range of 2, so it is grabbing this guy as well. But this guy again looks like he'd like to do something. We managed to avoid anything going in there, and also we don't have any divisional reinforcements. We have no reinforcements left at the moment in the pools. So remember that if any units escape, they would go back to that pool. So okay, well, yeah. I mean, I can see the use of an action here. I suppose that's probably the only other one that I can see between these 1, 2, 3, So, okay. So what's our engineer range is now at 3, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. So we can actually get movement into that hex. And the fact that Brown's been taken care of now as well allows that to happen. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything saying that we shouldn't move this up here. And obviously they get a free traffic management move from the engineer base. And I guess the unit behind should do the same. And then we've got 2 tanks. There's the garrison. Yeah, at least we got some stuff garrisoned last turn as well, didn't we? So the 2 tanks are still there in command of the general. Red did not do any damage. That was, yeah, it wasn't quite so bad in the east, I suppose. The fire phase. Well, in actual fact, I mean, was it bad at all? I mean, this looked like it was bad. Oh, no, you know what it was with that though, and I spoke about it last night. That happened in the reinforcement phase, the placement of that. Sorry, the event phase, and it was a reinforcement, and I maybe didn't quite take that into consideration, and I think I did speak about this last night. Because I moved these units up thinking, right, okay, well, if units appear in these hexes, and of course I'm talking about them appearing in the actual fire phase, then we can just retreat. But this occurred in the event phase, and then went into the fire phase, and could have easily just... I mean, it was a double purple on the card, wasn't it? And I'm saying, well, this guy's taking a hit, isn't he? And then they advanced down to that other hex. And I'm pretty sure, I did look at it carefully. It was late-ish last night, right enough. So, but it did seem like that was the right action to have made. So, anyway, okay. So, yeah, I was wondering how I got onto that. Yeah, red didn't do anything here. And yeah, I'm just talking about these tanks, I suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, both these tanks could have a barrage action on blue or red. Yeah, because this unit is in blue and red. Well, actually, the tank itself is in blue there. So, thing is, I think we want to attack red, don't we? Oh, yeah, they're on this side too, aren't they? Okay. Oh, well, there you go. How many actions did I count up there? I counted 4 that I'd like to, but I could maybe get away with 3. And I've just counted another 2 here. So that's 6 actions I want. Yes, indeed. Oh, God. Yeah, that's horrible, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Because, well, yeah, but as soon as I take a barrage attempt on red, then I can't then attack it. So I've got to decide what I want to do first. Is there a chance of just attacking it with a 6 strength? Oh, remember I can get support from the tank grant, or the tanks even. It's just they're getting a free action. That would just use 1 action there, rather than the 2. Yeah, it does start getting tricky. It's all very well when you've got not so many units and they're all clumped round about your HQ in general, but once you get more units on and they start spreading out trying to do their thing, it's not easy. Yeah, I think we got the 2 events just that couple of turns too early, didn't they? Where we were getting the extra action. I think we got it 2 turns on the trot, and I don't think we used them all. I would certainly be using them all here. I'm pretty sure on both sides I'd be using them all. Because I remember looking at the other side, trying to work out where my actions... Mind you, that was before the fire phase, I think, so there's maybe not as much to do. Well, what is important? I mean, surely this move into here is important, is it not? Surely you can't... I mean, I know there's no reinforcements in the pool, but... You know, that's a redeploy waiting to happen. I would have thought it's a victory point hex. It does feel rather wasteful of an action when you look at what other stuff that you'd want to do. I get the feeling this guy's just going to have to sit here. Well, unless we do take the gamble with that, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we should leave that open, should we? Well, the thing is, I mean, you've got, if the event Places a unit. But redeploy. We've seen, I think we had a glance yesterday and realised that the fact that there is only 4 lettered actions, that you are going to see them a lot. And again, just looking at the card track there, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of the 5 cards have an R, and 4 out of the 5 cards have an A. So, you know, it's going to happen a lot. I mean, it does depend on what colour you get to what would happen, but I think even... that's a thought just there. I never really thought about that. See, if this guy was to get the R action, he's no units in his field of fire, he would redeploy. I mean, okay, it would move him out of there, but I mean, that right there could easily just move to there. If I don't occupy that. Right, I think I'm doing this. I might come back, but I think I have to do that. Because it's silly to break out with these 2 and then not take advantage of that. Also taking advantage of the fact that he never got hit by that. I mean, yes, it would be nice to move this back, but yeah, it is unsteady fire, so if it fires, it needs a diamond, you know. So that's one of our 3 actions gone. It's quite possible these guys might just have to sit. When do we get that HQ? It's next turn it goes in the box. But then here's the thing, I was talking about maybe placing it over this side, wasn't I? Because, well, we've got an HQ up that side, but it's a way in deep. Right, yeah, it seems wrong to not be trying to have a go at this, I think. So what could we do? Will we chuck both tanks at it? Or does that mean he's showing a 1 strength? I just flipped that. Oh, can't. That's twice in the space of 2 days. Yeah, I seen that as well. I'm pretty sure it was a 2. Oh, for goodness sake, Grant. Here we go again. How can I fix this? Right, well, I'm not going to go as extreme. I'm going to... You're shaking your heads, aren't you? Like, just leave it, Grant. You're going to attack it anyway. I know, but I can count that up now and realise what the number is. And I hadn't completely decided if I was going to attack with that. I don't think I was going to use that. I'm pretty sure the fact that it's 2 actions, I wasn't going to do that. But I did wonder about, did I use 1 tank in support or 2? So, right, I'm going to take this WN marker away. Now, is there any other WN depth markers? Now, I'm going to have to watch here. So this one, right, this one, it's just to get a random, because I don't want to take them from the units that have been eliminated. This one is not being revealed. Okay, so that's that red position, that red position. I think that's all I've got. Yeah, it's just the 2 that are left. So, yeah, it's not going to be an awful lot of randomness, but it's still no guarantee. I've got 4 counters. Like I say, I don't like bringing some back from the dead, because I think that would be wrong. Yeah, there's no more. Yeah, because we took the blue one out recently. Right, okay, I've given them a shuffle up. I've no idea what they are, so I'm going to just put 1 back on here. Like I said, there was only 4 to randomise between, so that's the best I can do. And then put that back in there. I didn't again see the weapons, and when I say it was a 2, I just try to get my eyes away, but it looked like it was a 2. Okay. Right, and I put the other 2 back up in the pool. Okay. So 6. Well, yeah. What I was wanting to know is the anti-tank. It just doubles the unit, so that's actually good. Isn't it? Anti-tank. Unit strength, double depth is not. Yeah. I think we're just going with this guy. Just depends on. I should chuck 1 tank in, because he brings a bazooka. So, and this is doubled to 2. So we're sitting. I mean, admittedly, I'm frightened about hovering about the counters after doing it twice in the space of 2 turns. In fact, I think it was in this turn, wasn't it? When I moved that, it was that one there, wasn't it? And I flipped it over. I think it was within this turn. Anyway, so if depth marker's a 2, that means he's a 4. So we're 6 against 4. So yeah, we want to chuck a tank in just to be sure. Now the tank's not going to bring machine gun or anything. It'll bring what we've already got. Well, no, it brings artillery. You sometimes get artillery on the depth, so I think we should bring 1. Now, does it matter which? No. We can have a little bit of a pop at blue, or should we start moving the tanks up the draw? I don't know, like I say, because they've got 2. Okay, apparently it was time for a little app break there. That's annoying. That's annoying. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, the fact that they've got 2 movement, the tanks, but I don't think they start. I'm not sure that he can. See, this looks like half road and then half trail on this hex. Then again, yeah, or it might be dotted all the way through actually. But the fact it's definitely dotted at the start, it kind of tells me that I've got to treat that as a trail hex, which means that I don't start on a road, and I think that's the requirement. Sorry, wait to find my page. Yeah. Yeah, it does say a tank unit beginning its move on a secondary road may move up to 2 hexes. So I can only just say that although it looks like half a road and then half the trail, then I guess I've got to consider that as still trail. So I'd only get 1 move into there, but then I'd get 2 and then 2. And bear in mind, we still need to get this guy sorted. So, you know, there is that. So, but disrupting blue, it's doing nothing, is it? Not really. I mean, okay, it could disrupt this tank. It's sitting in sporadic blue, but this is sitting in sporadic blue as well, I guess. I suppose if you did disrupt it, it might stay down and. But it's not kind of, it'd be different if it was firing into here, and of course I want to make movements, so I want to try and get round here. I don't know what we're doing there yet. We'll get to that. And I mean, it fires into the draw here, but we're nowhere really near that just now. Does it fire into there or no? Well, I might as well. I don't need to use 2 tanks, and I think we've got a turn or 2 left before we need to start moving them up the draw. We've already worked out that none of these units can get off the map. And my only thinking is the area that we've picked, I mean, there's probably a lot of the infantry that didn't have the time to get off the map as well. From this point, but if you notice, we have picked the longest way to get off the map, I think. Well, I say that, I mean, B is away up the top corner there, but Well, yeah, I suppose they're all at the edge of the map, no matter what. I mean, the best one would obviously be G, isn't it? It's because it's just here. So, obviously, and then you've got, what is that? That's F up there. So, I mean, they're the closest ones. But, yeah, so I think the purpose is to get the tanks just up on the high ground. But bear in mind, when they do get up there, they can help with making attacks, you know, so we don't want to linger them about here too long. But I don't think we're quite clear on this yet anyway, and I think we've got time. Okay, so, well, you know what I will. I'll take a barrage attempt while we had. The last two cards have been circles. Not blue though. Would you know me better going that? Two cards before that were blue diamonds. Okay, I'll just go for the circle. Doesn't matter. Right, that guy has 1, 2, 3, 4. He's in. Sorry, I'm not even showing you anything. This guy is in range of this. He's in command of a general, and these are all on this side, so I can attack that with that. So, but I'm going to do the barrage first just to see how we get on. So he's sitting in blue anyway. So he's firing at blue, but he's only 2 strength, and that unit's got a depth. So I need a blue circle. Blue triangle. I think that's a diamond, right? Okay. The other one was a diamond. So. Right, so that didn't happen. So never mind. Right, so remember you're having to use an action here, Grant. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to attack this guy because we just don't have the actions. So 6 attacking into this, the unit gets doubled, and I'm going to get support from the tank. That's just a garrison marker underneath, so just turn that around as well. Tank's in command of the general. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in range. So we have 8 strength against 2, because that's doubled. We have the weapons. We've got double the strength. Oh, we got a 2, which is what it was originally, I think, whether that was that counter or not. Yeah, we're good, aren't we? Yeah, the base units carry demolitions. So he's got a strength of 4. So we did actually need the tank there, didn't we? Oh, no, we didn't. Oh, well, yeah, because do we not get it all? Yeah, see, that was just luck there. I didn't think about that at all. And that's maybe why John Brown told me a while ago to try and get in the habit of attacking with double strength if you can. So we've got 8 strength against his 4. We have the weapons. We are double, and it's turn 17 to 32. So units eliminated. The depth marker's eliminated, units defeated. Excellent. So, again, let's not get carried away with ourselves. That is just a was a WN unit again, remember? So, yeah, I just realised I turned them into a pile just at the side there, in case we get a reoccupy. But well, there you go, right there. If we don't do anything here, they can trace German communication from either of these. So if we don't move something into here, I could reoccupy. But I mean, I had that scare down here when I took the blue out. But I figured, you know, what, I mean, I don't think there was anything I could do there. I mean, now, yes, I could move that hero into there, but I don't know. This has turned into a mess, this area. We'll get around to that. Well, I suppose that in actual fact these units could come in, because they were, well, I did say it was awkward for them to get it blue. Well, maybe they should. They've got their general with them. Then again, I wanted to move this guy up here, so we don't really want the general moving off. And at the moment, this guy could be considered part of the first, but one action left. I do not want to use an action on him. Now, here's the question, and I said this a while back. Nobody's said anything, so I wouldn't mind knowing what your thoughts on the answer are to this, though. What do I need? It's 7.2, isn't it? When it talks about US actions and that. Conducting actions, yeah. So 7.22, I know I've read it a few times. A unit that you move across the east-west sector boundary as opposed to landing across the boundary, so this is what these are, may be considered part of either division when performing actions. So at the moment I could say, right, it's part of the first division. And then, but it says you may spend an action from either division's allotment to have the unit perform an action if an expenditure is required. So if I felt like I was flooded with actions across this side and I didn't really need them, this would be the perfect opportunity for me to decide, I'll use one of my actions from across this side. Because I think my question was at the time, if I use it for the first division, as the first division, do I need to use the action marker from the first division? But the way I read that, that's saying that I can use either. Now, I couldn't use an action from the other side to activate any of these because they've not came across from this side. So I think that's right, but if I'm reading that wrong, and like I say, I would still need to use a first division action marker if I wanted to class this as a first division unit for this turn. The downside to all this is I don't think I can spare action markers from anywhere. So oh, and the thing is, what am I talking about? This guy's got he's in command of a general anyway. So I'm just talking a lot of nonsense there, am I? Well, I actually think what I was talking about was maybe the next again turn. If I don't have, if I move this guy here just now, free move from the general, then I don't think I'm following with the general because I want this situation maybe looked at. So then I'd be asking that question, could I use, let's just say across in the west, I only need 2 action markers, I've got things covered, HQs are controlling everything, so I've got an action marker to spare. Could I use it while I'm activating over this side on these units? So if it comes to it, I might have to go and have a wee look up, see if somebody might have asked that question, but if it gets to any that know the answer first, and I don't come out with it, then please leave a note in the comments letting me know. Right, well, I'm not for sure I'm doing that yet, and I don't need to do it as part of a first division activation anyway. I can wait until we get across the other side. Okay. Right, okay. So I've got one action left, but in the middle of things here, yeah, I'm gonna get around to that. Well, to be honest, I think it's there's a slight annoying factor in this. Well, I'll have a look at it just now anyway. Obviously, this guy undisrupted, so we can get a free action to just disrupt him again by attacking these 2, which is kind of probably what you need to do. And we did work out that we need to occupy 1, 2, all these hexes to get around to eliminate him without letting him escape. And hang on, I say all these 3 hexes. What about this one? Did we work out this one was alright? Yeah, because if we've got a unit here, then he can escape into this blockage, but then he couldn't trace into there because we've got the unit here. That's right. And he can't trace down into the pavilion because that's adjacent to the beach. Right, okay. Yeah, the dilemma I just looked at there was when I realised that I can move this 2 hexes because it's on that trail through the blockage. I thought, well, that's pretty good. However, well, yeah, but you've got to consider redeploy Grant as well. I'm just thinking that this locks up C1. Then again, this opens up C2 if you like. Well, yeah. Right, got dragged away there, so no idea where I was. Oh, just as well, I can see where I was because I've moved this round. Yeah, I suppose I was talking about be nice to leave it there to stop that. But you're within 2 of that as well, Grant. So that all, again, like I say, no reinforcements, but it could redeploy. Well, actually, maybe not. That's not in yellow fire. So if I do go into there, it's going to redeploy. But if I left it there, it wouldn't. Yeah, and I think I was thinking, is this the right thing to be doing? Messing about with this? I think what maybe started me thinking today about it is a better idea because now we don't have a reinforcement in the pool. So if we do let one go, it's, it's given that option. Because if we draw an event card, well, yeah, if it's the second event, we get the armour, right enough. But if we draw an event, the first event card, and it's reinforcements, I think we can just skip the event. However, if we let this guy escape back, then he's coming back. So, well, are we disrupting this guy again? I think we have to. Yeah. It does mean the general. Now, can the general make a move now? I think so, actually, because, well, in actual fact, this tank is still sitting in blue. If I wanted to have a barrage attempt at blue, red's gone now. Yeah, there's no need to have the tanks. Okay, so I think what I'll do is, this is a free action, and I'll attack that again and disrupt it. I don't know. Should we be moving on? Well, not really. The thing is, this position's right in the middle here, and it's like, it's not firing into brown or into green, is it? Where's the other? We've got that. Yeah, it's that one. It actually doesn't fire into anything. It just fires round about it. And it's got us here tied up in knots, isn't it? I bet it's not even a victory point, Hex. It's not. Okay, been paused again for quite some time. Yeah, life getting in the way. Where were we? Right, well, we were talking about this. It looks like we made action to disrupt this. I get the feeling I was then considering the fact that this unit is really just sitting there himself. Only fires in the hexes round the bottom. He's not a VP hex. He doesn't affect any draws. I get the feeling that some of you are telling me that just go by that guy. Don't, just leave him. I don't feel like I can do that. It doesn't feel right. But it's possibly what you're telling me to do, you know. It's not doing me any. I don't get any points for taking him out. I mean, okay, he could move elsewhere, you know, because as soon as I move out of his field of fire, he might, you know, when we draw the R action, he might try and redeploy. Yeah, I think I'm going to persevere. So what I decided we needed was a unit there, a unit there, a unit there. So we disrupt him this turn. We can only move this one unit. And we could move on 1 or 2 hexes. I'm still kind of feeling like that's probably the right move. Right, I just got Martin's made a comment on the YouTube channel. Right, 12.21, which isn't good news. 12.21 says a German... Right, hang on, let me point out what I was talking about here. Well, again, that is a bad example. Right, well, I might as well go back to it, because it's the one I was talking about. This bad example of if these units weren't one-step units and they were two-step units, they control this hex. However, for tracing communication, can that trace through that? Does that make that still traceable? Well, apparently it does. 12.21, if I just read this, a German unit in a hex adjacent to a US unit negates US control of that hex for purposes of tracing German communication through the hex, including tracing communication for the German unit itself. Including tracing communication for the German unit itself. Not quite sure what the relevance of that is. I don't know, maybe it's just to confirm. Yeah, I mean, the German unit itself traces communicate. I get that. I'm not quite sure why that needs to be written there. There must be a reason for it. I'm just not quite grasping it. So that does mean that, again, if these were two-step units, or this was a two-step unit, the control of that is negated because there's a German unit in it. So he can still trace out. So it's not good news. It doesn't matter here because these are one-step units. And like I say, it was a terribly bad example. I was just, when I was looking, the camera was still here when I came back and looking at here. No, that is going to mess that up. What he's just told me there is, if I have a unit here, one there, and then we defeat this guy, he can then trace into that blockage hex for 1. He's free sort of blockage retreat, right? Even though we've got control of that hex from the US unit we would have here. However, he can then trace into this hex, and the US unit here's control of this hex is negated because this unit's here. Well, there's a reason, if any, to take out that blue position. Yeah, I think because of that, I mean, assuming I'm sticking to plan of trying to take this guy out, which, like I say, I'm pretty sure Martin's telling me to just leave that and just, you know, you've got to get through that and get the draw cleared, get some victory points started gathering. You know, this guy does nothing. I don't know, he'll pop up somewhere else, you know, I think he'll move. That's a point. Can they just get up and move? No, I'm way off track here. Anyway, just to finish what I was talking about there, we'll come back to my thoughts there. I think it definitely means that these guys are making a move towards this blue position, because it is going to take, I don't know, possibly another 3 turns for me to try and deal with this. And that's why Martin probably is telling me right now, just leave it, move on, don't worry about it. But yeah, I know this is disrupted, but if this wasn't disrupted, and then I started thinking, can they do anything? And like, no, Grant, it's disrupted, it can't do anything, it's removing disruption, right? Oh dear, it's not that early in the morning too. Well, it's not, it's afternoon. I was thinking, do they need to be able to trace, if this isn't disrupted, could he get up and redeploy? That's what I'm sort of saying. I don't know, because he's going to have units in his field of fire. Yeah. So, no, he's not going to do that, Grant. Yeah, he's not going to move. And I don't think he's got an advance arrow, has he? No. Right. Yeah. Okay, right, forget about all that. Yeah, I was trying to work out how we're going to go about this, but in actual fact, we need the unit to stay disrupted. So if it does next turn, we move one of the units into here, then the other one into here, and then this guy into here. And then the next again turn, he moves into here, he moves into here. That's him in position. But like I have just said, and the Germans don't care about the bluffs, remember. I mean, once he traces into there, although we've got that US unit there, it's not that he can't go down this bluff. He can. Ooh, yeah, he can. He can go into this hex here. Well, maybe that's a target for me to try and bring something across to kind of stop that communication trace. There's no point going through all this procedure to take this guy out who's not really probably needing to be taken out, just to find out he is going to escape and then go back in the reinforcement pool. I don't want that. Okay, right, let's leave that. I've decided that's my plan, my big plan. No doubt I'll be told. Right, what's happened here? This is moved. It was here, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I think it was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wasn't it? I'm not sure how that got moved. I'll need to check. Hang on. That's what it is here. Did I place that with care? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it reaches the purple, but it doesn't reach the brown. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it reaches this blue across here. So I suppose that I would get the brown A3 position there, or the blue WM position there. I must have chose for that one. Okay. Well, that's what it is. I double checked. Okay, so we've only one action left. Have we only one? Oh yeah, we used one away down there, yeah. Which worked well. Okay. So one action left, and I think we decided this, doing something. However, by moving that just to there, we do have this locked in. So there's no communication traceable to C1. So we can maybe forget about that guy, which I think I was going to have to do anyway. Now the other one is between this. Do we want to try and retreat this guy? And this. Do we want to advance them up and start putting some pressure on that orange position? And the rest of the things do get an HQ move. Well, I'll get to them. There's maybe a little bit to think about up there as well. Well, I was thinking about it, And I think, you might not think this is the right one, is moving this back, and I'll tell you why. I remembered that we were sitting here with this unit just before the German fire phase, and purple came up in the card, and I thought, oh, this guy's taking a hit. And I thought, okay, that's bad. And then I realised that, wait now, this guy's taking a hit, and then opening a communication trace right through that gap to all these positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. German communication was going to be traceable. So, no, hang on, no. Does that matter if that guy takes a hit then? Yes, it does. It does. Because we can then just trace up round him and then through there. And that's, again, all these hexes can trace 1, 2, 3, 4. So if that guy was to take a hit, that's what would happen. Hold on though, Grant. If you're bringing these two units up, well, what the best I can get them, 1, 2, I can only get them into here, so it would stop anything from happening to that. But this, and this would still be traceable. Yeah. That's annoying. It's annoying because I'd like to get the units moving. But I mean, I don't want something redeploying here when this guy's taking a hit, and then something redeploys here, or redeploys here or here even. I don't want that. No, I do not. And that's the sort of thing Martin said he got caught out by something appearing. I mean, if something redeploys there, it's only sporadic firing at my command post, but that stops my command post and the range moving up any. It kind of locks things. So I think there's two actions there that I feel like I'm kind of forced to be using. But I feel like it's making some sense to do it that way, so I'm gonna stick with that then, I think. Right, so just up here now, it's just as well we were looking at that, because I might have forgot that we do have a gap here. So this guy does have to make a move. Now he can't. I was going to say he can move into here or here, but he really needs to move into here, doesn't he? Yeah, and we're moving that guy in though. Now this whole thing about this advancing, I mean, what can I do now? Well, let's say I move that into there and that into there. That stops this communication gap through there, and it puts the unit back in B1, because, like, obviously if I don't do that, B1 is traceable for communication, so that. And then, well, here's the thing, we've got these two carefully placed units to stop the advance from them. And unfortunately, if this was to advance, is that in blockage? Ooh, it is. They're both circles though. If that advances with a circle, then we're in trouble. If it doesn't have a circle, then this is going to be 8 strength, so it'll stop the advance. But if it has a circle, it disrupts them both, and then advances, hitting one unit and knocking this unit out. Well, that would be the unit it'd be hitting. Okay, yet another distraction. It's difficult when you come back. Even I was only away there for a couple of minutes, taking a phone call, and you come back and you just don't know what the last bit has been said. And I'm not going to look back in the video just. So I know I'm up this area anyway. So I think I'm just looking at this and thinking, right, well, we're protecting this. This is probably the more important one we want from avoiding the advance, but I'd hate to see it happen there as well, but at least we've got the chance with that one, because if it's not a circle, we repel the advance, I believe. Yes, that's right, I think. because this guy would double his strength because he's in blockage. Okay. So I think we just leave these guys as is, because if I do move one of these away to try and do something over there. Now, here was the other thing I started thinking about. Aren't you not considering maybe going and having an attack at this and trying to do something about it? And I thought, well, maybe. I certainly, could. I think you know what it was. I think I was hoping that I might be able to get this unit moving up, because if he got into here and then we took one of these into here, then you've got the 12 strength possible to give that a wee look at anyway. So I think just the lack of actions is just, yeah, it really is becoming a struggle for the actions, isn't it? I think if I'd known that, I think if I'd realised that, I wouldn't have moved these units. I would have just left them sitting there. But how do you gather all the victory points? How do you do it? Again, that was what Martin was talking about when the first game where I was talking about where to place my HQ. He said, well, where I was placing it, you weren't in any range of any victory point hexes, and yeah, to be honest, he maybe be saying something similar again. I mean, maybe I should have had this further along. I don't know. I mean, these are victory point hexes. That one's not, but yeah, it's going to be a struggle to move things away from the command range. So, and it only gets to 4. This only stretches out to 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not even reaching this unit. Anyway, right. Okay. I think I should take a pause there, because I know we had a wee app intervention. So I'm showing 35 minutes here on the recording, but there was a bit recorded before that. There's a good chance it was maybe 15 or 20 minutes. I don't know exactly. So I'll take a cut here, and again, I'll just maybe look over things here just in case I want to make a couple of adjustments just before and move across to the other side and keep things on the straight and narrow. So I'll be back soon, guys. Okay, cheers.